In just one moment, we're letting someone else in. All right, everyone, happy Thursday. Let's keep it a Thursday. Let's not try to turn this into a sad Monday. We are one day away from Friday, so that makes Thursday the anticipation day, the anticipation for Friday. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. You are in a courtroom. Anything that you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. I repeat, anything that you could not do if you were physically in the courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. These are the rules of the 187 District Court. To all of the inmates, you are not allowed to use the chat box. You are not allowed to use the internet. Trust me, if you try to use the internet, the deputies are going to find out about it, and then you're going to be sent back, and we will see you probably in 60 to 90 days because, as you all know, there are staffing issues. To all the inmates, you may not have heard, but there's an uptick in COVID, new variant called Omicron. So if you've been given a mask, you need to make sure that mask covers your mouth and nose. That mask is really to protect others. So think of it as your selfless act of protecting others. I don't have a mask on because I'm in my office and I'm the only person who's in my office. And the same goes for the court reporter and other people that you see who don't have masks on. To all of those who are on bond and are accused or defendants, you are not allowed to be doing laundry, cooking, sleeping in vehicles, driving of vehicles. If you do any of these things, what will end up happening is your Thursday, which is an anticipation of Friday, is going to become a sad Monday because you're going to be required to appear in the 187th District Court in person. There will be no questions asked. You will just be told to appear in the 187th District Court in person. It's located at 300 De La Rosa, 4th floor. You're going to have to get a VIA bus. And if you catch the VIA bus, from when I rode the VIA bus, they still don't give you change. And when you need change, you can never find it. So when you pay the VIA, you're not getting change back, or either you're going to have to take an Uber or a Lyft, or either you're going to have to drive downtown. When you drive downtown, what you're going to discover is there are a lot of one-ways, a lot of constructions. If you're lucky enough to find parking space, you're going to find out that parking has increased substantially, the price of parking. If you are at work, you need to let your employer know that you need to find a quiet place and you need to take your lunch break early because you are in court. And to everyone who's saying, well, I have to do this, I have to do that, remember, Zoom is a privilege and you could be required to appear in court in person. So if you want to continue to be able to appear in Zoom at your home, at your work, wherever it may be, then you need to abide by the rules. If you are a defendant or if you are accused, you are not allowed to allow your screen to go dark. That means your video to stop. The only case where your video should go dark or stop is if you're on your phone and you are signing paperwork. Otherwise, your video should stay up. I'm going to open breakout rooms. When I open the breakout rooms, it will invite everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a room. To all defendants and those who are accused, your attorney is probably going to want to speak to a prosecutor before they speak to you. So please do not ask if you've been invited to a breakout room. You will know if you've been invited to a breakout room because your name will be called. To attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small you think that agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson. If your client is on bond, she will need your client's email address. Please do not call her, text her, chat her, asking her for a continuance. I'm the only person who can do that. To the defendants and those accused, your attorney's name will be called. Your name will not be called. If you do not hear your attorney's name, please do not raise your hand, letting me know you did not hear your attorney's name, because your attorney is probably zooming in another courtroom or had to appear in person. To attorneys, I'm going to call the list. This is the order in which you will appear. If you see your name is low on the list and you wish to zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do so. However, if you do so, what will end up happening if your name is called and you're not here, then you will be placed at the end of the list. Anton Hayek, Andres Campion, Alfonso Cabanas, Charles Bonk, Ignacio Beretta, James Toshi, Roland Garcia, Shannon Locke, Todd McCrae, Warren Wolf, Will Brooks, Alan Brown, Bobby Gebbia, Robert Brauback, Matthew Finch, Paul Vasquez. Is there any defense attorney who is on the screen and I have not called your name? All right, this is starting off great. I didn't miss anyone. Attorneys, if you could help the court by adding to your name the name of your client and whether or not it's family violence or criminal trial division, that would make things move so much quicker in my assigning you to breakout rooms. The prosecutors have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms. However, as you can tell, there are more defense attorneys than there are prosecutors. Please, everyone, put some patience in your pocket, take it out as needed and share it. And think of those breakout rooms as when you go to the doctor's office. When you go to the doctor's office and they put you in a breakout room, they are not seeing you right away. They're just checking your weight and your blood pressure. So everyone, let's have a great Thursday. Anton Hayek, what is your client's name?
Joe Gomez.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Gonna be family violence.
All right. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. And Alfonso Cabanas and the other people who were here yesterday, I know what you're here for. So just be patient. Andres Campion.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 4.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Charles Bonk. Thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 5.
Okay.
Ignacio Beretta.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 6.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let me find you. Joshua Carroll, you need to take off your cap. I know it's cold outside, sorry, but you're in court. James Toshi.
Hey, how do I get to the breakout room?
James Toshi.
Good morning, Judge. I have 2 clients this morning, Mr. Watson and Joe Escobedo. I don't know if Escobedo is family violence or CTD, but I do know Mr. Watson is CTD.
All right, and let me see about Mr. Escobedo. That's CTD.
Okay.
And I'll send you to number 7.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Roland Garcia.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have one client this morning, David Morales. It's a family case. However, I do not need to confer. I just need to report a status to you.
All right. Brenna, do you see David Morales on the docket sheet? Or Rebecca, do you see David Morales anywhere?
Page 6.
All right, thank you. And this is a status for what?
This is a status for discovery, Your Honor. The state was going to reveal some documents to me, which I have not had an opportunity to review. I do have a tentative appointment next week, I believe on Tuesday, to review those documents. But due to COVID and in my household, I've been self-quarantining, and the person I need to meet with is going through the same issue. So we've been trying for about the last 3 weeks to get this accomplished and just haven't been able to due to the current restrictions.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on David Morales, and is your client in custody or on bond?
He's in custody, Your Honor. I see him on screen as David CH6.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on David Morales, can I have a 1-month reset, please?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second.
Mr. Carroll, Joshua Carroll, you need to start your video. Otherwise, you're going to be required to appear in the 187 District Court. You have 5 minutes to start your video. All right, we're going to come back on February 18th.
Thank you,
Mr.
Judge.
Morales, your attorney is trying to review discovery. Could you unmute, please? And so we're going to get that done as quickly as possible. Okay, Mr. Morales?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, do you need to speak with your attorney?
If possible.
All right, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to send you to a breakout room to speak with your client. And please, Mr. Morales, I'm going to need you to come back to the main room after you speak with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am.
And I will send you both to breakout room number 8.
And Judge, when we're done, am I excused from the breakout room?
Yes, you are, but don't leave until your client leaves that breakout room.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, David, I'm just trying to find you. There you are. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. Shannon Locke. Thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 9.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Todd McCray. Thank you for changing your name.
Good morning.
I'm going to send you to number 10. Good morning.
Hopefully I could get in with Tom Nisbet.
All right, Mr. Nisbet, Mr. McCray is requesting you. He's in breakout 10. Warren Wolf.
Thank you.
Is your client criminal trial division or family violence?
He's got multiple cases, Judge. In the notice that I got this morning, it said that he was in Webb County. I'd been trying to get hold of him at the Bexar County on ICS, and I was unable to get hold of him. When I got the notice for today's hearing, it said that he was in Webb County. In addition to the cases that I represent him on, Sean Keys represents him on the family violence cases.
All right, I'm going to send you to 11. And Ms. Ferguson, can you see that Mr. Dawes comes in, please?
Yes, ma'am. I sent them the notice and I put on the notice to make sure and be here. So I will
All right.
make sure.
All right, thank you. Will Brooks,
Morning, Judge.
thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 12.
Yes, ma'am.
Alan Brown.
Your Honor, I work in Alan Brown's office, but we don't have another case on the docket. Who is the defendant?
Excuse me, the person who's in the jacket with the red hoodie underneath, what is your name?
Oh, that's Daniel Montalvo de la Pena, Your Honor. That is the client for this. But I didn't know. Was that why Alan Brown got put onto the?
Yes, because his name is listed as Alan Brown.
Right. That's our iPad. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Clears up the confusion.
Yes, let me change his name on here. All right, Bobby Gibbia.
Good morning, Judge. I changed my name. It's a CTD case for Hanan Gandara.
Thank you. And you're going to lucky breakout room number 13. That's always been a lucky breakout room here.
My lucky number.
Thank you. Robert Brawback.
Yes, Judge, it's for Donovan Castro, a sentencing. Marcus Sanders sent me a note. This that he wants to delay it because he has a victim who's not available. I was hoping to do it this morning. I don't know if I can come back this afternoon or I can come tomorrow morning if he has to have the victim there.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. And Marcus Sanders, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please. And Norma Ferguson, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please, and see about a date if they're able to agree. If not, I'll make a decision.
Yes, ma'am.
Matthew Finch.
Good morning, Your Honor. I apologize on my tablet. I've not, my audio went out on my computer as I was logging onto the Zoom this morning. I'm here for Joseph Ramirez. It's all CTD at this point. I was conferring with Tom Nesbitt in the past. Judge, we were technically here for a discovery conference. I have had a chance to upgrade all my technology and I have downloaded all the discovery on Mr. Ramirez's several cases. But I'll confer with Mr. Nesbitt.
Okay, I'll send you to breakout room number 14.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Paul Vasquez, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to 15.
Thank you.
Joe Contreras. Is that the attorney or no? It is not. Monica Guerrero.
Hi, Judge.
Hi, thank you.
How are you?
Yes, you have Miss Graham. Is that criminal trial division or family violence?
I would imagine it's family violence because it's interfering with child custody.
Yeah, I think we should. Okay, so I'm going to send you to breakout room number 16.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, is there any defense attorney who has not been assigned to a breakout room? And Mr. Cabanos, I know what we're waiting for with you. Anyone else who hasn't been assigned to a breakout room?
This is Hayek. I need to talk to my client, Joe Gomez.
All right, Anton Hayek. Let me see where Joe Gomez is. Is there a Joe Gomez on the screen, please? Mr. Contreras, put your hand down, please. Is there a Joe Gomez on the screen? Do you know if your client is in custody or on bond?
I thought he was in custody, Judge.
Okay, why does this person keep waving their hand?
I think he might be Joe Gomez.
Are you Joe Gomez? Give me a thumbs up. All right, thank you. Let me change your name. Thank you, Andres Campion. You're making things happen today.
All right.
Like it says Joe Contreras. All right, Joe Gomez. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I think okay, join.
All right, Andres Campion, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. I've conferred with the state and we're both waiting on discovery. The state is trying to get some discovery for us to be uploaded and we are waiting on subpoenas that we have had issued to be served.
All right, what is the issue with the subpoena being served? Who are you serving?
We're serving a company out in California.
And I mean, I don't want to reveal your strategy or
right, which is why I don't want to say it's my understanding that the sheriff's department has the subpoenas. So we're waiting on them to be executed.
Okay. So what is the status of the execution of those subpoenas?
As of this morning, Your Honor, it's my understanding that the sheriff's department has them and they are in the process of sending them out or serving them themselves because I think they have to be served by law enforcement.
All right, and have they given you a deadline of when they think that will happen?
They have not, Your Honor. I can reach out to them and find out if there's a deadline and then get back with the court.
All right, so this is what I'll do. I'm going to recall you for February 18th.
Okay.
And with regards to the discovery that's in the state's possession, do you have that?
No, that's another portion that the state is working on getting. They had the the state had sent an email, I believe, to either the investigator or to law enforcement requesting the specific discovery. And it doesn't appear that they had received a response. So I believe they've sent a follow-up communication to the law enforcement agency.
All right, did they give you a deadline when they think they would have that or no?
They did not, but they seemed as frustrated as I was.
All right, so we're going to come back on
February 18th,
February 18th.
and that's for a discovery update, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, if there's nothing else, you and your client are excused.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. You have a good day.
Thank you, you too. Tony Hernandez.
Morning, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing well, Judge. I have a Marco Ramos Aguirre family violence.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were waiting to go. Let me see. I'll put you in breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. That room just opened up.
Judge, who is iPhone? Can whoever iPhone is identify themselves? Okay. Ms. Morales, I'm going to send you in a breakout room with your attorney.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Barreto.
Yes, Your Honor. I need to speak to my client, but I'm told he's not we couldn't locate him, and he's supposed to be in jail.
All right, let me see where he is. Sometimes they list them different when they are at the jail. And it is Faustino Guerra.
Yes, ma'am.
Just give me one moment, Ms. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Can you let Ms. Ferguson know that you need your client so you can get an update as to where he's located?
Okay.
And Ms. Ferguson is the one who will give you an ETA on when we're expecting your client.
Should I go to the breakout room first and then?
Yes, go to breakout room number 1, and Ms. Ferguson will be able to give you an estimated time of arrival for your client that's in custody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Brooks, Mr. Luna.
Hey, Judge. I conferred with Ms. Hayden. It is a second setting, Judge, and we're still having some meaningful conferring, but we would ask the court for a reset if we may.
All right, and let's see. So on this one, do you have all the discovery?
I believe I do, Judge.
Okay, and just one moment. Let me get a message and get a Ms. Ferguson. Could I have a reset date or a regular reset date on Matthew Luna, please? If you could put that in the chat box.
And Judge, if I may, I wanted to talk to Ms. Ferguson about something if I could on this case.
Yes. Do you want to do that before or after you receive your date?
After's fine, Judge.
All right. All right, so we're going to come back on February 16th. And Ms. Ferguson, while you're in here, Daniel Montalvo has been reset to February 18th for discovery as well. And Mr. Luna, you're excused unless you need your client here to remain here, Mr. Brooks.
I don't, Judge, and I'll follow up with him.
All right, you can chat Ms. Ferguson, or either if you want, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Yes, if I could go to a breakout room, that would be great, Judge.
All right, just be patient. And Mr. Luna, you are excused.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Hernandez, who is your client?
Good morning, Your Honor. Jason Brown, CTD.
Okay. Let me see what room is available for you.
Thank you, Judge.
I'll send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you.
Charles Bonk, who's playing golf in the snow.
Judge, can I see you in a breakout room real quick, please? Or
All right.
breakout room number 1?
Yes, Mr. Bonk, just give me one moment.
Good morning.
Are you Donovan Castro?
Yes, I am.
All right, Mr. Castro, we're going to recall your case for tomorrow at 11:30, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's just to make sure that everyone has all the information they need to present a case, all right?
Okay, is it gonna be for sentencing?
Yes, for sentencing.
Okay.
So we'll be-
Can I talk to my lawyer, please?
Let me see if we can get him back here, okay? He
Yes,
just
ma'am.
left, but we'll try to get him back, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Kim Gonzalez.
Hi, Judge. Good morning. I was just checking in on Mr. Jesse Jones, see if the case had been called yet or not.
Oh, so Jesse Jones, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
Okay. I'll send you to a breakout room.
Thank you.
Sure. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8.
Okay.
And Ignacio Beretta. Ignacio Beretta, your client is actually here. So Mr. Guerra, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 10. All right, Charles Blanc. Let's start with Mendoza.
Going to be a plea.
All right, thank you. And then let's go to Mr. Carroll. And Mr. Carroll had his hand raised.
He was just, I thought he thought I was, when I waved, I thought he thought I was waving at him.
Okay. So what is happening with Joshua Carroll?
I believe we're going to need a trial setting, but I've been conferring with with Marcus Sanders.
All right. Have you had a chance to confer with him today on this?
I have not.
All right. So what I'll do is let me rename you. And I will put that you are requesting standards.
Can I pick my new name?
But what would it be though?
Oh, I got some ideas.
Yeah. All right. So if you'll go to breakout room number 5 and
Okay.
Mr. Sanders will meet you there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Carroll, just hang tight, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any, let me see here.
May I approach you, Your Honor?
Yes.
Judge,
Which case
on
would you like to speak on first?
Victor Pizzana, Your Honor.
All right. Just give me a moment. All right, and to the clerk. Robert, could you go to breakout room number 1 and let Ms. Ferguson know to have Mr. Brawback come back because his client would like to speak with him.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Mr. McCray on Mr. Pizzana.
Judge, you remember from previous settings that we were working out a civil forfeiture that's related to this incident.
Yes.
And I made steps to talk with Robert Green about that over in civil. And so Mr. Pizzana and I are in a position to, I believe, with just a few more details, submit our plea to the court. I would like to do this, say one day next week, if you would allow us to do that, maybe Thursday.
All right, so let's do this. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. The coordinator is in number 1. If you can go there on Mr. Pizzana and ask her what day this week, next week, that we can take it. And then we'll come back and speak on Mr. Smith. So just go to 1 and come back and give me that date.
Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome. Are there any other attorneys other than Mr. Cabanas who are ready? Mr. Vasquez.
Yes, Judge, I'm ready. We're not able to reach an agreement, so we just need to keep this on the trial docket.
Okay, just one moment. And it's Erica Morales.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so on this case, I haven't given you a plea deadline date yet. I see the notes in here that you received all discovery. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, Miss Erica Morales, can you unmute, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Miss Morales, I always give plea deadline dates in this court so that people can have a chance to discuss whatever offer has been presented with their attorneys, think about it, and whether you accept it or not, it's completely up to you. I aim to give everyone a trial who wants one. Mr. Vasquez, did you receive an offer from the state?
We did.
Okay. Has that offer changed or is it the same offer?
It was the first offer was given today.
Okay. All right. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to recall this for next month. And I'm going to recall it for February 18th. And that will be your plea deadline date, Ms. Morales.
Okay, ma'am.
And so what that means is on February 18th, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the plea offer or not. If you decide not to accept the plea offer, then the next step will be to give you a jury trial date.
Okay,
do you
ma'am.
have any questions?
No, ma'am.
And of course, Mr. Vasquez, if something changes, for example, if there is new evidence that you discover or new evidence that you want to present to the state that somehow changes their offer, then I usually will move the plea deadline date.
Very well.
All right. Do you have anything else with us?
That is it.
All right, then you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Mr. Broback. Your client wants to speak with you.
Okay, I'll happy to conference with him.
All right, Mr. Castro, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6. And your attorney will meet you there. Mr. Broback, why don't you speak with him? If you could have him come back to the main room, please. And everyone, just give me one moment. All right, Mr. Cabanas, I'm going to put something in the chat to you. And this is from the state. And it's concerning what the defense and the state talked about yesterday with the court. So I just put in the chat. They're getting an update for us. All right, Miguel Hernandez on Jason Brown.
Yes, Judge. I spoke with the prosecutor. They extended the old offer. He has not accepted it. I believe this has, he's got 3 new cases that I do not understand have been indicted yet. He's got an old case that was, and on the new cases, I've had some problem getting some of the discovery downloaded. So that's what I was talking to the prosecutor about. She said I could go see him. So I would just ask for one reset to be able to make sure I get all the discovery. But it looks like my client would like to have a trial in this matter, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brown, we can't proceed with the jury trial. At least I don't recommend proceeding with the jury trial until your attorney has all the discovery. And could you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Your attorney is saying that he does not have all the discovery as yet. And I'm looking at the docketing sheet. And this is really behind schedule a little bit because there are new cases that are pending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this, and we're going to reset it for February 18th for discovery, and make sure that you have all the discovery.
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Hernandez, has an offer been tendered?
It has, Your Honor.
All right, if you don't have anything else with the court, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a
Thank
good day, everybody.
All right, Mr. Hernandez?
Is that me, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Judge, we've conferred. We're waiting on some medical records that were requested about a month ago, according to the DA's office. So I think they're going to be rather important to the case.
Okay. So did they give you an update on when they would have these medical records?
They told me, Judge, that they had ordered them about a month ago, right after the last setting that we were here, and that they're expecting them in the next couple of weeks or so.
Okay. Let me find what page your client is on. Ah, there he is. All right, just give me one moment. Let me get a date from Ms. Ferguson.
Certainly.
I'm sorry. No worries. All right, you guys got time to confer. They said y'all were ready for me.
Yeah, Bethany, I'm in another hearing. Just give me about 3 minutes. I should be done.
Okay, I will come back in about 3 minutes.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Bethany? Yes. Tony, can I tell her what we're doing?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Unmute. On Ramos Aguirre, we're going to recall that for February 18th. And that's to see where we are on the medical records.
Okay.
All right, if
Thank you,
there's
Judge.
nothing else, you and your client are excused.
Judge, I do have one other matter off docket. I had filed a motion to set a bond on a Henry Lunan. We have an agreement. If I can email that to you.
Yes, if you email the agreement and include the prosecutors in the email, then the court will sign that. Hey, I like your robot.
Thank you, Judge.
He's cute and he's wearing a tie, Brenna.
He is wearing a tie. I'm looking for a coat for him, but it's been kind of challenging.
Okay. Well, you know, if you just go to one of the fabric stores, I'm sure you can just get whatever color you want.
Something.
Yeah. You should give him a Valentine's Day one.
He could have filled in for me while I was out.
Yeah, you should get him a Valentine's Day one. Change it out for the holidays.
I'll do that, Judge.
All
Judge,
right.
what is, I'm sorry, what is your email? Or do you want me to ask Norma for it?
I will put it in the chat for you. And just remember to be sure to include the state in the email.
I will. Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Well, Let me put this in the chat.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you leave, you're not going to see it. All right, you both are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Is there any other defense attorney who's ready to address the court?
Yes.
Robert Brobach, Judge, I've conferred with Castro. We're going to come back tomorrow for the sentencing at 11 o'clock.
All right, to the clerk, could you go to breakout room?
Let me have Stacy.
To the clerk, could you go to breakout room number 1 and let them know that Castro 14N can go back?
Yeah, I think
Mr.
that's
Brobach, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, any other attorneys besides Mr. Toshi and Mr. Bond?
Talk to Clayton on it, or did you talk to him last week on it?
Judge, were you calling me?
I'm just trying to get all the attorneys who need to see me. So any other attorneys besides Mr. Toshi and Mr. Bond?
I'm sorry, Gabby, hang on.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is your name?
Shannon Locke.
All right, and I asked you that because on my screen, I can't see you. All right,
Gabby, can you put me and Mr. Tober in a breakout room, please? I would like to chat with him. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Bonk, and then I'll take up Mr. Toshi. Mr. Bonk on Joshua Carroll.
We're going to need to continue to the trial setting, please.
Okay. Okay, did you receive an offer on Mr. Carroll?
Yes.
All right, I don't see where you were given a plea deadline date. Do you wish to have a plea deadline date?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. So then what I'm going to do, Mr. Bonk, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Ask Ms. Ferguson for a jury trial date. And then once you get your jury trial date, we'll place that on the record.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me find which breakout room you were in. There you are. All right, James Toshi.
Judge, we've got an agreement on Mr. Escobedo, and I've communicated to Marcus to get the paperwork prepared for that one. We did confer also on Mr. Watson. I do not believe we are going to have resolution on it. He should be in your courtroom, Judge, is he?
Yes, he is in the courtroom.
So keep us in a trial formation on Mr. Watson, and I'm going to start the plea paperwork on Mr. Escobedo, and if I could chat with Mr. Watson.
All right, to the courtroom, and Mr. Toshi, what we'll do, I am going to send you to breakout room number 1 with Ms. Ferguson so you can get a court date for Mr. Watson. But before I do that, I'll let you speak with Mr. Watson first. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5 and to the courtroom. If you could go to breakout room number 5 with Mr. Watson for Mr. Toshi, please.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Shannon Locke.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've conferred with Marcus. He is reaching out to the complaining witnesses in the various cases for Mr. Jones. He's talked to a couple of them. He needs to talk to all of them.
Where is Mr. Jones?
He's Galaxy A02S, and he just raised his hand, Your Honor.
Why is his video not on?
It is. He's raising his hand and waving to you.
All right, and so that's Jesse Jones. Did Mr. Sanders give you a time frame?
No, Your Honor. I think 30 days would be sufficient.
All right, so we're going to come back on February. We're going to come back on February 18th.
Very good, Your Honor.
And you say that the state needs to speak with witnesses, correct?
I believe so, yes, Your Honor. No, that is true.
And what is the issue with discovery?
We have our discovery, Your Honor.
All right, we'll see you by Zoom on February 18th. You and your client are excused unless you have something else with the court.
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And everyone, just give me a moment, please.
I'm ready to approach you, Your Honor.
Okay, just one moment. All right, and which client? Pazanza?
Pizana, Your Honor, we have a plea date through Norma for next Wednesday, January the 19th on Mr. Pizana.
Okay, and that is for a plea deadline date?
That's for
Or
a
is it-
plea, Judge.
All right, and
We're
what
gonna-
date?
January 19th, we're going to enter a plea.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pazana, we'll see you back on January 19th.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused.
Thank you, ma'am. You have a great day.
All right, thank you, you too. Just give me a moment, Mr. McCray. All right, and your next person is Mr. Smith?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Smith, you could see, has a warrant, and it was based on an off bond back in December.
Is he in
And
custody or on bond?
Judge, it's an off bond, so he's still on bond.
Okay, where
and
is he? Is he on the Zoom? That's what I'm asking.
He's been trying to log in this morning and has been having trouble logging in. I believe the issue is on his end, so I have been texting back and forth. I do have contact with him. And
Okay,
he just found out this morning that an off bond was issued, so he's going to try to sort it out with the bondsman. He says he's paid him in full, and he didn't understand why there would be an off bond.
All right, as soon as he is able to Zoom in, we'll take up that matter. Ms. Cupid, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. McCray, I give everyone till 10:30, but I'll give your client till 11. You're telling me there are issues with his Zoom. Just let me know when he shows up. All right, Mr. Toshio and Mr. Watson.
Judge, I think Mr. Watson would like to address you. We had a very animated conversation, and I told him that I think that he should probably have a dialogue with you at this point. Not sure what happened, but we don't have any agreements, and we do need a new comeback date. He's very unhappy about that.
All right, Mr. Watson.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, how you doing this morning?
I'm blessed. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So this is what's going on. You were scheduled for jury trial today, but it's not my fault. It's not your attorney's fault. He and I think I can, Mr. Toshi has been following COVID guidelines and COVID rules. Is that correct, Mr. Toshi?
Yes, ma'am.
And the Omicron, which is a variant, has spiked. So there are no jury trials available today. We don't have any jurors. Jury trials for this month have been suspended. So I can't give you a jury trial today because we don't have any jurors to hear it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right. So that's not my fault, not Mr. Toshi's fault. It's not Brenna's fault. I will be more than happy to give you a jury trial. Mr. Toshi, I believe, will be more than happy to represent you in a jury trial, and the state will be more than happy to represent the state. But we just don't have any jurors. And in criminal trials, we're not doing jury trials by Zoom. And I don't think anyone would want to have a jury trial on the criminal side by Zoom, okay? So what's going to end up happening is you're going to get a new jury trial date. So here's the thing about the new jury trial date that I am going to give you. I am hoping that jury trials will go forth, but if jury trials are suspended again, then there's not going to be anything we can do about it. We can only do what we can do, okay? But I do appreciate you dressing appropriately for court. So many people don't. So thank you for dressing appropriately. All right. So Ms. Ferguson on Mr. Watson and his attorney, Mr. Toshi. Can I have a tentative trial date for them, please? And if you will put that in the chat box. And Brenna, this Thursday is still going to go well, even though there is major construction outside this window that is coming all the way to the top. I don't know what they're bamming on. So, Mr. Watson, we're going to come back on March 1st. So here's the thing. If jury trials are suspended, your attorney will let you know that they're suspended. So if they're suspended, you can appear in court or you can appear by Zoom. But so tentatively, your jury trial date is going to be March 1st, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about that?
I have no questions. I just would like to know, why is it taking so long? I mean, if the state has any evidence, let's just do it, because I know that they don't.
Well, the reason why we can't do it, Mr. Watson, is because we don't have any jurors to hear it. If we had jurors to hear it, we would go for it.
Okay, we'll wait on
All
that.
right. And I know it seems like it's been a long time, and I know it's been a long time for you. But what I can tell you is in this court, I have a process, right? And part of my first thing is one, to make sure you have an attorney. And then the next process is to make sure that your attorney has all the discovery, because I don't think you want your attorney to go to a jury trial and he doesn't have everything. So once I make sure that they get all the discovery that the states say they have, then I make the state give a plea offer. And I don't have the state give a plea offer until your attorney has the discovery so that he can enter into whatever negotiations. I think you'll agree with me that your attorney can't really negotiate with the state if he doesn't have any of the evidence that they say they have against you. And then once an offer has been tendered and it's tendered to you, then I don't like for you to get an offer, let's say on Monday, and then I say on Monday, are you accepting it or not? That's the end of it. I like to give you time to think about the offer because there may be things you want to discuss with your attorney. And then I give you a plea deadline date, and then we have a jury trial. And that's just to make sure that everyone has everything and make sure that there is an orderly process to things so that you won't be surprised about what's going on, okay? I try to make the process as streamlined as I can for people who are not attorneys, because sometimes they don't know the legal system, okay? So that's why it's taken the time that it's taken. And then of course, we're dealing with the pandemic. All right, so I'm gonna need you to put some patience in your pocket. You're wearing a suit. So I know with your pants, you have pockets. I know suits have pockets. And I do know that on the inside of that suit coat, they do have another pocket. So just pull the patience out as needed. So We're gonna come back on March 1st, okay, Mr. Watson?
That'll be okay. I'm glad to calm me down.
All right, thank you. And so what they're gonna do is they're gonna give you a reset form and just sign that form. That's not saying you're guilty of anything. That's just a paper for you to have so you'll know when your next court date is, okay?
Yeah, bless you.
All right, thank you. Bless you too. You have a great rest of your day.
Bless you.
All right.
Good. Thank you for that. And I'm going to return to handle the plea.
All right, and let me move you to that room. And so that's number 7. Before you go to 7, let me make sure I put where you can share documents. So let me find you. All right, I'll send you back to 7. All right, any other defense attorneys who are ready?
Hi,
To the court. And when you say, could you say your name for me? Because it's hard for me to see.
Hayek, Anton Hayek.
Okay, just give me one moment. All right, Mr. Hayek on Mr. Gomez.
Your Honor, I've conferred with the state and my client. At this time, we won't accept the plea bargain offer. And apparently you told me to file a motion for competency on him, and I failed to do that from the last hearing. So I'm going to do that.
Before we finish
today.
this discussion, I need your client to come back to the main room. So I'm requesting him to come back to the main room. Soon as he comes back to the main room, we'll take that matter up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wolf.
So it's been a while since I was in the breakout room and no one came in there with me and wanted to come back and find out what's going on.
Oh, they're working their way through the breakout rooms. So if you go back to 11, an attorney, a prosecutor will meet you there on Mr. Pettis.
All right.
All right, remember those are doctor's offices.
Your Honor, this is Alfonso Cabañas. Can I get a breakout room as well, please?
All right. And thank you for your patience, Mr. Cabanas. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. All right.
I was speaking to Prosecutor Joe Ray Garcia. I need to speak with him again.
All right. Let me see if Joe Ray Garcia is. All right. Mr. Joe Ray Garcia, could you go to breakout room number 12, please?
Yes.
All right. So on Joe Gomez, what is happening with Mr. Gomez?
Your Honor, I'm not sure if I have every bit of discovery because I'm missing some photos. I don't know if that came from the state or from the defendant. They're going to send me their stuff again, but I need to go ahead and file that competency motion on him. Request for competency evaluation.
Okay, just one moment. Trying to find which page your client is on.
Page 10, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Gomez, can we have a 30-day reset for discovery and also make sure that the evaluation has been filed?
I'll try and do it today, Judge.
Thank you. All right, we're going to come back on February 18th for discovery, and plus the competency motion needs to be filed before then, Mr. Hayek.
I will do my best for change.
All right, thank you.
And be excused, may my client be excused, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Joe. Take care.
Mr. Gebbia, are you ready? Is there any other attorneys who are ready? All right, then everyone just give me a moment to sign paperwork, please. All right, Bobby Gebbia.
Good morning, Judge. I have Hanan Gandara, and I have
Yes.
conferred. We will need a trial date. If I can get with Norma or get a trial date from the court, that would be fantastic.
Okay. Let's see where we are. All right, Ms. Ferguson, could I have a trial date for Ms. Gandara, please? And Mr. Gebbia, of course, these are all tentative dates because we don't know if jury trials will remain suspended. All right, so Ms. Gandara, Brenda, if we could go on the record for a moment, please. We're going to go to record in 2021 CR 2297. Hannah Gandara, State of Texas versus Hannah Gandara. And for the defense?
Robert Gebbia.
And are you Hannah Gandara?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right. Defense, has an offer been tendered?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Gandara, are you rejecting that offer?
I am.
And Mr. Gebbia, have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, your jury trial date then will be March 15th. Ms. Gandara, you were scheduled for jury trial today. However, jury trials have been suspended due to the pandemic. Defense, do you have any objection to March 15th as the new jury trial date?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Gandara, that date, hopefully jury trials will take place on that date. If jury trials are taking place on that date, then you'll need to appear in the 187 District Court at 9 a.m. on March 15th. The court is located at 300 De La Rosa. If for any reason jury trials are still suspended, then your attorney will contact you. You will still have a court date on March 15th, but it will just be by Zoom. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else, Mr. Gebbia, you and your client are excused.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you
Happy
too.
Friday's
Bye-bye.
Eve.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Happy Friday's Eve to you too. All right, Jenny Cupid,
Yes, Your Honor.
what is happening with Mr. Cole?
The state has extended, they previously extended an offer, or we had talked about that. There's something else new that's come into consideration. I did meet in the room with my client. I don't believe he's going to accept this offer, Your Honor, but I need to sit down with him in person and go through the discovery again in light of the new information. So I would ask for, if we can have a brief reset to come back to allow us some time to consider the evidence in the offer today.
Okay, so was a new offer submitted today?
It's new in that there's some new consideration that needs to be reviewed. Yes.
So what I'll do is I'll extend your plea deadline date. Ms. Ferguson, can we recall Mr. Cole for next month, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you could put a date in the chat box for me, and it will be a plea deadline date.
Your Honor, I'm out from the 14th through the 18th of February.
Okay. She's actually given me a plea deadline date of February 10th.
All right, Your Honor, at 9 a.m.
Yes, 9 a.m. by Zoom.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is here. Do we need to
Yes,
go on the
the
record?
client is here. Mr. Cole, You are
How you doing,
excused.
Doc?
Oh,
How
I'm
you
doing
doing,
great.
Yana?
Oh,
I'm
I'm
doing
doing,
good. Happy
yes.
New Year's to you.
Oh, Happy New Year's to you too. I'm doing great, but there's like this major racket that's going on.
Oh,
They
that's
have a
my truck.
jackhammer.
I'm sorry. That's my 18-wheeler. I'm sorry about that, Yana.
No, it's not coming from you. It's outside
Oh.
the courthouse.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I tell you what, oh, you're in the 18-wheeler?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry about that, Yana.
Now, okay, I will tell you, I admire you guys so much who drive the 18-wheelers because I see people weaving in front of 18-wheelers. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's-
18-wheelers cannot stop on a dime. My brother drives heavy machinery, 18-wheelers. Sometimes he has cement, sometimes it's with gasoline. My uncle was a truck driver.
Hazmat.
Yes. So good luck and safe driving, okay?
Thank you. God bless.
All
God
right,
bless
thank you.
everybody in the courtroom too.
All right, thank you. And pay attention to your times because I know you guys have times that you have to fill out because you can't be on the road without taking sleeps, at
Yes,
least
ma'am.
naps. All right. All right. Be safe out there.
All right. Thank you, Yana.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Mr. Bach.
Yes, Judge. On Mr. Carroll, we have a trial date of March 29th.
All right. We're just going to on the record briefly. The court is calling 2021 CR 1465, 2021 CR 2771, 2021 CR 2207, State of Texas versus Joshua Tremaine Carroll. Can I have defense announced, please?
Charles Bunk on behalf of Mr. Carroll.
And are you Mr. Carroll? Could you unmute for me, please? You're still muted, Mr. Carroll.
Okay, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. Mr. Bonk, have you received all the discovery in this case?
As far as I know.
Okay. And so the court usually gives plea deadline dates, but my understanding, Mr. Bonk, is that you are not requesting a plea deadline date. Your client wants a jury trial. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, we were scheduled for a jury trial. However, because of the pandemic, jury trials have been suspended. Mr. Bonk, have you received all the discovery in each of these cases?
As far as I know.
All right, and Mr. Bonk, were you able to confer on a jury trial date?
Yes, I was.
And what date were you given?
March 29th.
And do you have any objections to that as the jury trial date?
I do not.
All right, Mr. Carroll, your new jury trial date is going to be March 29th. You'll need to appear in the 187th District Court, dressed for trial on March 29th. The court is located at 300 De La Rosa, the 187th District Court. We're on the 4th floor. If for some reason jury trials are suspended, your attorney will let you know, and in which case you'll be able to appear by Zoom. Do you understand, Mr. Carroll?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, so when is your jury trial date?
March 29th, 9 o'clock. 300
which
De La
court?
Rosa. 187.
Okay, awesome. You know, you're the first person to get the court address and the court number correct. All right, Mr. Carroll, have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the trees. It's beautiful outside.
Thanks. Oh, no, I'm about to go back to work. I'm just in the break area.
Oh, well, enjoy your work day, you know?
Appreciate it. May God bless y'all.
All right, thank you, you too. Mr. Bont, do you have anyone else with us?
Yes, Judge, I need to.
You put yourself on mute, Mr. Bont.
I need to go over paperwork with Laura Mendoza, please.
All right, let me see. Oh, and you're excused, Mr. Carroll.
All right, thanks. See you later.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Bont, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. And Mendoza, if you could go to breakout room number 2, please. Mr. Dawes?
I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, you have Mr. Perez.
Yes, Your Honor. I filed a motion to withdraw, and I mean, we can go into a breakout room to talk about it.
Yeah, let's all go with Mr. Wolf as well. I think we all need to just chat.
Mhm.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 1.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, is there any?
Judge, may I address?
Is there any attorney
Yeah.
who hasn't been assigned?
Can I approach you on Mr. Smith, Your Honor?
Yes.
So, Your Honor, Mr. Smith is attempting to move from his location to a Wi-Fi setting. And I don't know how long it's going to take him to do that. I have to excuse myself for about an hour. If he's able to log in, I can log in.
Okay.
Going to be after noon, I guess, but he's attempting to do that, Judge.
All
I
right.
just want to let you know.
All right, so Mr. McCray, if for some reason he's not able to log in this morning, we will be back at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That works. Thank you,
All
Judge.
right, you're welcome. All right, everyone, just give me a moment, please. I need to go to a breakout room and I will be right back.
Joe Ray Garcia.
Hey, what's going on?
Can we go ahead and get back into the room?
Sure. Let me put you in there.
Water. Water.
All right, everyone, sorry about that. Just give me a moment, please. Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Pettis, we're going to come back on February 18th to make sure that discovery is taken care of. All right, who is ready? Anyone ready? Okay,
Your Honor,
yes.
this is Javier Maldonado. I'm appearing for the motion to ask permission to the court to approach the parents of a victim in a case that the court already closed.
Which case is this?
Let me pull up it is 2019 CR 9386.
But what's the name of the defendant?
Edgar Sanchez.
And what motion is this concerning?
Motion for permission to contact the victim's family, Your Honor. He already pled guilty to indecency with a minor. He was granted deferred adjudications. One of the conditions is that he cannot have contact with the family. We're asking the court to give us permission to us, the attorneys, to contact the family. Mr. Sanchez is currently detained in removal proceedings, and he's eligible for a waiver. And we would like to see if the family, the parents, would speak on his behalf. They are Mr. Sanchez's aunt and uncle. They previously assisted in the criminal case. They don't want their nephew to be removed and are wanting to cooperate in the removal proceedings.
Okay.
And
Let me ask you, have you conferred with the state on this?
I have not, Your Honor.
All right, so let me let you confer with the state on this.
Okay.
And then, of course, I'll make a decision.
Yes, Your Honor.
And I'll send you to breakout room number 4.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. All right, anyone else ready? All right, then just give me a moment while I sign paperwork.
Hey, Tochi, sorry, I just realized I forgot to press send, so I just sent it now.
That old trick, Marcus. Lupe, can you, if you're hearing me, can you tell me how many days in jail Joe Escobedo has, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lupe. You can chat it to me or just tell me it's.
Tochi. Total 612.
Okay, thank you, brother. Judge Boyd, could you please send me to breakout room number 7? I believe that's where Mr. Escobedo is. I can't get back
Yes.
there.
And what breakout room were you in, Mr. Toshi? Oh,
Well,
you signed out. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I thought he was in 7. Yeah.
All right, I'll put you in 7. All right, Mr. Maldonado.
Yes, ma'am. So I spoke to Ms. Wilkes from the state. They have no opposition for the attorneys to reach out to the victim's family for the limited purposes of the family, the mother and the father, to testify on behalf of the defendant. This is not about the victim. We're not going to have her testify at all. It's about the parents, Your Honor, and the state doesn't have an opposition.
All
That's
right.
correct.
All right, then the order has been signed. If you'll get in touch with the clerks, they'll make sure they give that order to you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else ready? Let me see.
Judge, is Norma on? I can't find her name to send her a chat.
She is actually having a little bit trouble with her Wi-Fi. So she's having to zoom in and zoom out.
Got it, thanks.
And everyone, I'm going to move Monica Guerrero, who's with Nancy Graham for family violence, to breakout room number 4.
I've conferred with her, Your Honor. She was in presiding, so I was going to wait to send her client in there, but we've already conferred. She just needs to speak to her client.
All right, and does anyone know what is happening with Matthew Finch on Joshua Ramirez? And Nancy Graham, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Sorry, Your Honor, that's Finch is with me.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Mr. Ramirez. Ms. Graham, I sent you to number 4. Just be patient when you go to that breakout room. And then I'm trying to move Mr. Guerra. He is in number 10 by himself. So we shall see. All right, and Mr. Wolf, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge. You have a good day and a good weekend.
All right, thank you. You too. Joe Ray, Ms. Ferguson is back on Zoom.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor,
Yes,
may I be excused to use the men's room?
yes, you may.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Toshi.
Judge, we literally just finished the paperwork. It'll probably take you a couple minutes to get it, but we're ready.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see what I have. Has your client been sworn in?
No, I don't think he has. He just came back into the main, so the paperwork is probably still, it should either be there or in a couple seconds be there.
All right, Mr. Escobedo, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1 so that the clerks can swear you in. All right, and if everyone, I'm going to take, well, Mr. Perez is back. Have you all finished speaking with Mr. Perez?
I spoke to Mr. Bunk.
All right. All right, then, Mr. All right, then, Mr. Perez. You have your new court date, and Mr. Bunk, if you want to file some motions before then and have them heard before that date, we'll take care of it at that time.
Okay, Judge, is there a way I can break out with Deputy Mejia?
Yes. And is it okay for us to send Mr. Perez back?
Yes.
Scared to
All right.
go back. Do I have to go back?
Yes.
Leave him there for a minute. Let me talk to Mejia real quick and see.
Please.
All right, well, just give us a moment, Mr. Perez.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
All right, Mr. Bont, could you go to breakout room number 5?
Yes,
And
Judge.
Deputy Mejia, if you could go to 5, please.
Yes, Judge.
All right, and everyone, just give me a 5-minute break, please. All right, everyone, I am back. As you know, I need to make sure I take my allergy medicine every day. Michael Sawyer, good to see you. How you doing? Oh, you're on mute, Mr. Sawyer. Okay.
we go. Now,
Hey, how you doing today?
I was just saying I'm running a little bit late this morning. I got this morning and my head felt like a pumpkin with all this mountain cedar.
Oh my gosh, it is.
I had my doubts as to whether I'd get here, but I took plenty of medicine and coffee and kind of came back to life. So I'm here.
All right, good seeing you. Happy New Year. What is your client's name?
Rosa Tovar, and she's actually in the courtroom itself.
All right, and it's criminal trial division or family violence?
But this is criminal trial, I believe, Your Honor.
All right, so I will send you to a breakout room to speak with the state and tell your brother, don't forget to tell your brother I said hi.
Last time we were up, we were going to say hi to you in person, and you were right in the middle of a big hearing.
Oh, I miss him. Tell him to come on down.
I will tell him to do that, Judge.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Monica Guerrero, you are back.
I am sorry. I don't know how I got disconnected.
All right, I'm going to send you to number 4. That's where your client is.
Oh, I've already conferred with her. Miss Wilkes put her in there.
Okay. Well, let me have her come out of that room.
Okay. I just need to, I guess, talk to Miss Ferguson about a trial date or a reset date.
All right, Miss Ferguson. If you can go to, she's been having slight problems with her Wi-Fi. Miss Ferguson, if you could put in the chat box a trial date for Miss Graham for us. And Miss Graham, if you could unmute for me, please. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Miss Guerrero, I don't see where I've given your client a plea deadline date. Do you want?
You haven't. This is actually my first setting. There was another attorney on the case that I guess didn't have as much familiarity with family law or withdrew. And this is my first setting with you.
All right, so what I'm gonna do, if you don't have any objections, Ms. Guerrero, I'm gonna give you a regular reset so you can have more time to go over discovery with your client. And then when you come back, then I will give you a plea deadline date the next time.
That sounds like a really good plan because there's a lot of paperwork in this case.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna come back on February 16th. And Ms. Guerrero, I'm gonna note on the file, well, I've already noted that you were just appointed on December 2nd. So we're gonna come back on February 16th. Let's see where we are with discovery and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate your help.
All right, you're welcome. So you're both excused. Ms. Graham, it'll be February 16th and that'll be by Zoom.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Have a
You're
blessed
welcome.
day.
Have a great rest of your day. All right, Mr. Bunk, do you still need Mr. Pettis?
Yes, if I can break out with him, please.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4.
Okay, thank you.
And Mr. Pettis, if you'll go to 4, please.
Thank you.
And Mr. Fitch.
Good morning, Your Honor. I've conferred with Mr. Nesbitt. We've kind of got everything sorted out. My client has a bunch of cases, but I guess we just need another setting.
Okay.
Or a trial setting.
All right, let me look in the file. All right, so we were actually supposed to be here for discovery. So have you received all the discovery?
Your Honor, I have. I downloaded it all earlier this week. Now that I've have enough hard drive space to do that with all the video, but I have done all that.
All right, and has an offer been tendered?
There has, Your Honor, in the past, yes.
All right, and so has there been a change in that offer, or is there going to be a change in the offer or no?
Your Honor, I don't know. I will continue to confer with Mr. Nesbitt. I'd love to be able to do that. I know there was a co-defendant that has resolved some cases that might impact our ability to resolve these.
All right, so what I'm going to do then on Mr. Ramirez, I'm going to give you a plea deadline date, and we're going to come back. Ms. Ferguson. Can we
Yes, ma'am.
set this for a plea deadline date next month, please? And it's on Mr. Joseph Ramirez. All right, we're going to come back on February 16th. And you've received all discovery, correct?
All the discovery that's been uploaded, Your Honor, as far as I can tell, yes.
All right, we'll be back on February 16th, then that will be your plea deadline date. And we'll go from there.
Thank you, Your Honor. May me and Mr. Ramirez be excused this morning.
Yes,
Thank you. You enjoy the rest of your afternoon, Judge.
thank you, you too.
Tom, thank you if you're still there.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good weekend.
Thank you, you too.
You too, sir. Thank you. All right, I have the plea paperwork ready on Mr. Escobedo. Are the parties ready?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, Judge.
All right, and are you Joe Escobedo, 16A? All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Court is calling 2020 CR 5029, State of Texas versus Joe J. Escobedo. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
James Tochi for Joe Escobedo.
And are you Mr. Escobedo?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Escobedo, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I did, Judge. However, real quickly, let me inform the court, there is no application that we are making before the court.
All right, is that correct, Mr. Escobedo? You're not applying for probation or deferred adjudication?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. It's just that the court is in receipt of that paperwork. So I'll note on the record that Mr. Escobedo is not applying for probation.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mr. Escobedo, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you review it in detail?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we are waiving the enhancement paragraph.
Any objection?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Escobedo, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you're charged with aggravated assault, serious bodily injury? That's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you enter a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Don't ask me.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, he has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Judge.
Mr. Escobedo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Next, I'm going to show you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. There are no applications, and there's to be no contact with Randy Ramos. Randy, R-A-N-D-Y, Brenna. Ramos, R-A-M-O-S. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement, Mr. Escobedo?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
That is our deal, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense as charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's plea.
Yes, the state offers states Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Escobedo, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing state's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We're prepared, Judge. Yes, ma'am.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
The only thing I want to discuss with the court, obviously, we're asking you to follow the plea bargain. He he has a lot of time in, Judge. He informs me, and I don't know if we can have someone look at that he has been in custody since February of 2020. Although on this case, it shows May. I believe it was perhaps a parole hold or a violation. I don't know if the court can give that credit or not. I know that the incarceration predates the date of the offense. If it can be confirmed, can the court give him that credit?
Not time that predates the date of this offense.
Well,
I mean, I'll give him credit for any time that he's been in custody while this case was pending.
Okay, and so that's what I'm asking. The offense date predates February of 2020, and I've not been able to verify his incarceration, but the offense occurred before February of 2020.
Yes, this offense is from 2018.
Correct.
So anytime that he's been in custody, if this case was open, then the court will give him credit for that.
Okay.
So, Mr. Toshi, if you have some information and you provide that to the clerks, of course, the court will give him credit for that, and I'll give him credit for any time served once I pronounce sentence.
I know both your clerks. They are pro level. I have every faith in them.
And
Okay.
it would help. I do see that he had an offense from February 16th of 2020. And he was in on that case. It was dismissed May 5th of 2020.
Yeah, which is about when he got picked up on the instant case. So I believe he was in custody from February of 2020 until today, Judge.
Okay. All right. If you provide that information to the clerks and they have it,
Okay,
I'll make sure he receives credit for that.
thank you.
All right. As previously stated, the court is finding the defendant guilty. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's to be no contact with Randy Ramos. Is there an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon on this case? State?
No, Judge.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you have any question over what the definition of a weapon is, you'll need to contact an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Escobedo, how old are you?
I'm 30.
All right, so here's the thing. I've read the facts of the case. This was some meth house where people are doing drugs. People are handing debit cards over to people saying, hey, take this debit card and buy things for me. Can I trust you not to use it for anything other than what I'm telling you to? So this is what I'm going to tell you. If you have a drug or alcohol problem, you need to take care of that. They have places at the prison. They have free places throughout Bexar County where you can get help for that.
I did not even read.
People who make meth, people who make drugs, they're not FDA approved. If you notice, when people are doing drugs, there's nothing on the crack pipe, there's nothing on the packaging that it comes in that says FDA approved. So what it is people making things in their kitchens or their garages. They don't, with roaches running around, rats running around. Who knows what's in it?
Yes, yes.
So each time you take a drug, you don't know if you're going to survive it or not. Another thing I can tell you, using drugs ages you. I looked at your photo in this, I don't even recognize you from the photo that just was taken in here. So you're at the point in your life where you still have more of your life in front of you. But when you use drugs, you cut that down substantially. You have children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
10, 9, 8, and 4.
Boys, girls?
3 girls and a boy.
All right, so here's the thing. Do you want to be in your children's life? And if you want to be in your children's life, you got to be in their life and be in their life right.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
needs to be somebody that they can look up to and admire. And right now, you're not in a position where they can look up and admire to you because you're not doing what you need to do to earn that respect. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to tell you, when you get out, if you think you're going to do good, then be in their life. But don't come breezing in and out of their life, because each time you promise children something and you don't follow through, it breaks their heart and it affects their ability to trust. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Escobedo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Norma 16A can go back.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. If you have no one else with us, you are excused. All right, Mr. Barreto. You're on mute, Mr. Barreto. All right, while he unmutes, we'll take care of that. All right, Mr. Sawyer.
I have conferred, I'm unmuted. I've conferred with the state, Brittany, and we have a dialogue going. It's pretty good. I just spoke to my client and maybe asked her why she won't come see me. Maybe she doesn't like me anymore. I guess we're not.
What?
Yeah, so she's going to come see me tomorrow at 2:00. And I believe this case may be wrapped up in the very next setting.
All right, so Ms. Tovar.
Ms. Tovar is in the courtroom.
All right, Ms. Tovar, you need to make sure you see your attorney, you understand?
Excuse me?
You need to make sure that you see your attorney.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, because here's the thing, whether you decide to see your attorney or not, this case is still going to continue to move. So I know you don't want to be in a jury trial and you've never seen and spoken to your attorney, but that may happen if you don't make arrangements, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have your attorney's contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So we're going to reset this and we're going to recall it for February 16th.
That'll be fine, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Tovar, don't leave the courtroom without getting a reset date. And Ms. Tovar, you can appear by Zoom if you have Zoom capabilities. If you do not, you'll need to appear in court, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tovar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Always good seeing you, Mr. Sawyer.
Judge,
And
thanks for your help today. Have a nice day.
And Judge, Mr. Sawyer has one more client.
Oh, Mr.
Yes.
Sawyer, you have one more client.
No problem. I can multitask a little bit.
Thank you. Ms. Ferguson, who is that client?
It's inmate Munoz, 11 L7.
All right, is it criminal trial division or family violence?
I'm sorry, Judge, I was muted. It is, I think, criminal trial division. Yes.
Is it Carlos Munoz?
If
Yes.
I can go to breakout rhythm, Judge, I'll speak to him right now in the breakout room.
All right, actually, it's family violence. I'm gonna
Family
send-
violence, okay.
Yes. If you'll go to number 4, and if someone from family violence could speak to him, please. And Mr. Bach?
Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, are we able to send Mr. Perez back?
Yeah, did you already give us our trial date? That's the only thing. I don't know if you did that on the record or not.
No, Mr. Perez is coming back on February 18th. That's just to make sure that you have all your discovery, and then from there, I'll give you a jury trial date.
Okay.
So, and if you have your discovery before then, and you want it brought back before that date, just come back and we'll make sure and put on the record that you have your discovery and get a trial date.
I'll do that because I know we'd like to expedite this as much as we can.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, can you let them know Perez can go back? He is number 12.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day, Mr. Perez.
Now, Judge, can you put me back with Laura Mendoza, please?
Yes. Mendoza. Let me find her. Yes, she's in number 2. All right, I've sent you to number 2. Ignacio. You're
Yes, Your Honor.
yes. What is happening with Mr. Guerra?
We're gonna do a plea with a application for probation. We're working on the paperwork.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anyone else ready? All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I see you in breakout room number 1, please? All right, to the clerks, you should have paperwork coming on Mendoza.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, has anyone talked to Alfonso Gonzalez? I'm sorry, Alfonso Cabanas on Gonzalez, please? Thank you.
Judge, I did. He has, the clients, you have the Marcos Marin who has 3 cases. Apparently Ricardo Briones is hired on 2 and he's still on 1. And I think he said he was going to try to get in contact with Ricardo to see what's going on.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Sawyer on Munoz. You're on mute, Mr. Sawyer.
There we go. That's the wrong break.
All right, no problem.
I put the little pointer in the wrong box, so I was not unmuting myself.
Okay, so what is
Yes.
happening with Mr. Munoz? We were
I've
here for
conferred
discovery.
with a DA on all 5 cases. If I could now go to a breakout room with Carlos Munoz,
Okay.
it would help. That's a beautiful
right.
sweater you have on. Is that me?
I'm sorry?
The sweater is really good looking.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll tell my mom you said you like it.
She's always picked out your clothes. I remember that when I first met you.
Yeah. I'm going to send you to I hate shopping. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Well, your mom has excellent taste. She always has.
Okay. All right, Mr. Munoz, if you would go to 1, and Mr. Sawyer, if you can go to 1, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Judge, my client is coming back from the breakout room. Laura Mendoza, we're ready when you are.
Okay, has she been sworn in?
Yes, she has.
Okay, as soon as the clerk's bringing the paperwork, we will take that up.
I think we were able to get Mr. Perez moved to a different area. So I think your deputies were very helpful in that. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. They're always awesome. But you know, I can't say they're too awesome because if I do, then they'll get moved
Yeah,
to another court.
that's very true. I don't see that my girl's come back from the breakout room yet.
Let me see if I can move her back. Oh, she's in there with Robert. So Robert has
Okay.
just brought her in.
There she is. I got her. Okay, she's here.
We're not just thinking the afternoon, this doesn't want to work. Ah, it's working now. It's always nice when the electrical stuff works. Who is the prosecutor?
I did paper. Ms. Meredith did the paperwork, and I conferred with Tom. So either one.
Okay, who is there a prosecutor available? All right,
I can step in, Judge. I just need to know what the deal is.
Oh, I'll walk you through it.
Okay, Judge.
All right, thanks. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 0210W, State of Texas versus Laura Mendoza. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Brittany Sparks.
For the defense?
Charles Bunk on behalf of Ms. Mendoza.
And are you Miss Mendoza?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No objections.
Any objection from the defense?
No.
Ms. Mendoza, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Mendoza, I'm going to show you a document entitled Waiver of Indictment, Reading of Information and Rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Did you understand you have a right to have a grand jury hear the evidence in this case and make a decision on whether or not to indict?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand your attorney also has certain rights, namely 2 days from the presentation of the information and 10 days from the presentation of the information to prepare for trial? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I understood.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived indictment, reading of information and rights under Article 1.051 and 26.03 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. Next, I'm going to show you the document entitled Information. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
State, it appears that you're proceeding on the information as presented. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Mendoza, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you're charged with the offense of assault on a peace officer as a second-degree felony? The range of punishment on that offense is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison.
and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do understand.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Yes,
did you
ma'am, I understand.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Ms. Mendoza, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, no, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
Court will find
Yes,
that
ma'am.
the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,000 fine to be probated. State recommends deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with cause number 649843. They will take in consideration the following county court cause numbers: 649842, 674621, 674622, and there's to be no harmful or injurious contact with Virginia Avila, A-V-I-L-A. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Defense is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Judge.
State is at the plea bargain agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel,
Yes,
have
ma'am,
there
I
been
did.
such motions?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. Outside the plea bargain agreement, the state is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 3 years. There be a TAP evaluation and a McMyOff evaluation. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Then to the offense as charged in the information, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer states Exhibit 1 in all attachments.
No
Any
objections. None.
Ms. Mendoza, I'm going to show you what's entitled Waiving Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, other reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, please.
Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just judge that she's been in jail for almost 45 days now. I think she's certainly worthy of this plea bargain agreement, and I ask that you follow it.
All right, Ms. Reyes, with probation, is the MIC mouth evaluation going to be done in custody? What's the date for that, and what's the date if she were out of custody?
Let me check, okay?
Thank you.
And just for her mother is available to help get her to whatever meeting she needs, an appointment she needs to go to. If that's if the court needs to know that her mother is on board on helping her with all these situations.
All right, Ms. Mendoza, are you going to be residing with your mother?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Bont, do you know the mother's address?
I do not.
All right, Ms. Mendoza, what is your mother's address?
119 Elbel, ELBEL 78220.
And does your mother have any objections to you living with her?
No, ma'am.
All right, and what is your mom's first name, please?
Virginia.
And is that Virginia Avila?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
All right, so here's the thing. Yes, Ms. Reyes, do you have a date for me?
Right now, I'm still looking through the calendar. It looks like it's probably going to be either one in March.
Okay. All right, so here's the thing, Ms. Mendoza. I've tried this before, and it's only worked a couple of times. I can allow you to be out of custody to do this evaluation, but there's not going to be anyone to be able to babysit you. So you're going to have to make sure you make your appointments. If you don't make your appointments, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to receive a report that your appointment was missed and that you didn't go. And then a motion to revoke is going to be filed. And then you're going to have that appointment more likely than not. And that appointment is going to take place at the Bexar County Jail. I don't think the Bexar County Jail is the place for people who have mental health issues. I try to help people who have mental health issues, but you're going to have to help us help you. And part of that is going to be whatever medications you're taking, you need to make sure you take those. Whatever appointments you have, you need to make sure that you make those appointments. I represented plenty of people who had mental health issues. And I know that sometimes medications cause side effects. You need to let the doctors know if there's a side effect. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you been employed or have you been receiving SSI? How are you supporting yourself?
At the moment, I am not employed, but I can get employment really easily.
All right. How far did you go in school?
High school, some college.
All right. Why have you not followed through with college or doing something else?
I was signed up for college for this semester, for this spring semester.
All right. Which college?
Palo Alto.
Okay. So what are your future plans?
To be a licensed cosmetologist, and to have a shop in my house, or to work with a small salon somewhere near where near my home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody who wants an occupation that involves having a license. Contact the state board, whoever, cosmetologists are licensed through, and ask them whether or not this deferred adjudication is going to affect that. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be able to follow your dreams and do what you want to do. It just means that it may be a little bit more difficult. Do you understand?
Yes, miss.
All right. So, and the other thing I tell people, you got to stop planning. At some point, you got to start putting it into action. Do you have any children?
Yes, miss.
Okay. And how old is your child or children?
She's 5.
All right. And who does she live with?
Her father.
All right. Is Child Protective Services involved at all?
No, ma'am.
All right. And do you see your child at all?
Yes, I do.
All right. So this is what the court is going to do. $1,000 fine that'll be probated, 3 years deferred adjudication. This will run concurrent with County Court Cause number 649843. Take in consideration County Court Cause number 649842, 674-621, 674-622. No harmful or injurious contact with Virginia Avila. You are to reside with Virginia Avila at 119 Elville, ELVEL, 78220. If something happens and there's some sort of emergency and you need to move from that location, you need to make sure you contact probation. Do you understand?
Yes, yes, miss.
We're going to do evaluation for Mick Mile out of custody. Going to do parenting classes. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors until the Mick Mile evaluation is completed and she's done at least one parenting class. So what that means is you can have contact with your daughter, but it cannot be unsupervised. So don't let somebody say, I'm just running to the grocery store. Can you stay with your daughter by yourself? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any gang affiliation or no?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to want proof of employment or SSI within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be 180 hours of community service restitution. The court will waive 40 of those hours if you provide proof that you've obtained the COVID vaccination. That includes the booster shot. The court is not requiring anyone to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 hours will be deducted. And the following hours will be deducted if she either obtains her degree or obtains a certification in her field of study. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. So if something happens and you can't Zoom, you're going to have to do it in person. I'm going to want random field visits 3 times per month until the evaluation is completed on Mick Mile. Once the evaluation is completed, then it can go to 2 times per month. And we'll do random UAs. Rebecca, is there anything else that she needs?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Mendoza, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed this plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we're gonna go off the record. Ms. Mendoza, so here's the thing. You're excited, you're happy because you know you're gonna be released from the jail or either tomorrow. Everybody always has big plans to follow through, but you need to follow through on all the appointments you have. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, and how old are you?
29.
All right, so let me explain something to you. You're 29 years old. You're gonna be living with your mom. You know what the key thing to that is? Living with your mom. So you need to follow your mom's rules. Even if you're an adult, if she gives you a curfew, that's your curfew. Sometimes people don't like people to come into their homes at midnight or, go out to the club. So until you get your own place, which has to be approved by the court, you need to follow your mom's rules. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. I'm gonna send you to a breakout room. Probation is gonna go over conditions with you, okay?
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Bont, you can go into the breakout room with her, or either you can be excused. And so I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 3. And Ms. Mendoza, if you'll go to breakout room number 3, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And probation will meet you in 3. All right. Alfonso Cabanas on Mr. Gonzalez.
Hi, Judge. Can I speak to Tom on that case, please?
Yes, Tom Nesbitt, are you available? It's 12:16, so they may have gone on break, Mr. Cabanas. Let me ask you,
Okay.
are you available to come back at 2?
I can't, Judge. I have a sentencing at 2:00.
So what we can do is we can recall it for tomorrow if you're available tomorrow.
I'll be on your court tomorrow, Judge. That's fine.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can we call Mr. Gonzalez back for tomorrow? Mr. Gonzalez, we're going to come back on your case for tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you,
Thanks
Judge.
for your
Thank you, ma'am.
patience.
You have a good
Thank you
rest
so
of the
much
day.
for your, thank you, you too. And Mr. Cabanas, thank you so much for your patience. You were like the first person who zoomed in.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right, Brenda, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our break.
Okay, Judge.
All right, so I'm going to stop live streaming. We'll be back at 2 p.m.